term educationalist in the modern term is used in a very subjective, negative manner. It doesn't mean what you and I think. Simply put, let me tell you why. If we talk about an educationalist, it's like you want to talk about the economist or the politician. How do we look at politics specifically today? Understood? How do we look at an economist today? Understood? If you say educationalist, then you're referring to the education of the nation. Who determines the education? The state, not you and I. Education is dictated by the state. That's a fact, whether you like it or not. I saw on the news recently that children are to be taught how to vote for their leaders. That's what I saw. Question is, why should they learn about that? Understood?
No.
Why should they learn about that? Who is the one that dictates that type of education? So if we talk about education to change the community, the matter is far deeper than that. Reason being is because, look, education, al-ilmu yanqasim ila aqsam. And if we talk about modern day education, هذا ما نسميه على حسب الحبيب صلى الله عليه وسلم العلم المقبوض. دائما عندما نقرأ النصوص, when we read these what is it? Allah المستعان, the nusus, the text. When we read the text not according to the times that we live in. We actually read the text in accordance to our understanding, which we have received from our own either parents or teachers or our community at large. Al-ilm al-maqbud is the type of knowledge. If in Allah la yaqbidu al-ilma intiza'an yantazi'uhu min an-nas. When Allah said la yaqbidu al-ilm, He is not going to remove and pluck out knowledge. You have to look at the word qabd as well. Why is it used? Al-Habib Bakr al-Mashhur rahmatullahi alayh and Sheikh Ahmed Sa'd al-Azhari hafidhahullah clearly mentioned this. Al-ilm al-maqbud is not knowledge which is removed by the death of the scholars. A scholar can die, but Allah in every 100 years, every century, He replaces for the ummah and brings within the ummah a scholar that literally can save the ummah from damar and halak. Understood? So when we talk about ilm al-maqbud, it's literally restricted knowledge. Knowledge which literally serves a certain agenda, but not knowledge that literally serves a community. And because of this, if we talk about knowledge and the community or education and the community, we will not come to an end. Our children go to school. That brings in the other issue of employment right now, which I believe you wanted to bring in.
Our education system is okay.
If you ask me, the Kenyan education system, that is the wrong question.
Why?
Because I'll tell you, this is a global matter, whether we like it or not. It's a global aspect.
So the unemployment crisis is not only affecting Kenyans.
I live in the UK, CD.
Yep.
If you look at the people that literally are how they live over there, I mentioned this on a khutbah, I'm going to mention it again over here. Simply put, you go to study engineering, by the time you finish, you're an engineer. You should have a high post, isn't it?
Yep.
But your salary is about 25 to 27,000 pounds, around there. Maybe you have a wife and a kid. In those 27,000, the state will literally deduct 20%. If you do the math easily, 2,700 times 2, how much is that? Easily 5,400. 27,000 reduce 5,400, how much do you have? 22,600. As simple as it is. 22,600, you have to pay rent. Your rent, how much is it? 1,200 for one bed. And I'm saying you and your wife without a child. And maybe you have a child. 1,200 every single month you're paying on rent. If you do the calculation, you end up finding that in a year, you're literally paying at least 15,000 in rent. Understood? You haven't paid a bill because there's something called council tax. You haven't paid for your phone. You haven't paid for anything else. All right? This is the education that many of our children go for in schools, and they attain papers that claims for them they have a profession, and then they expect to receive something. From whom are they expecting? That's the question. Ask yourself that. إشغال المخ أهم شيء. There's an athar of Ibn Abbas radiallahu anhuma. He mentions it clearly. for you to sit down, كونك تجلس ساعة تفكر في الله تبارك وتعالى أعظم من النوافل التي تقوم بها. The fact that you sit for 1 hour and you literally use your mind is far greater than doing those nafl that you're doing. Is there anything wrong with the nafl? No. وَيُنْدَبُ النَّفْلُ فَوَاظِبْ فِعْلَهُ. You have to do a nafl and you have to literally have mudawama on it. You have to live with it. But then, if you do not sit down and think, and you contemplate and you ponder, you'll always be distracted.